Hey, what's going on guys? So I just came back from seeing First Man and it was great. Now I've been looking forward to seeing this film, mostly because of the director Damien Chazelle. If you don't know who Damien Chazelle is, he also directed Whiplash, which I think is a masterpiece, and La La Land, which I also really liked. Now if you notice with these films and even his first screenplay on Grand Pianist, Chazelle likes to have a bit of a music theme going on, so I believe this is his first time going out of that music territory for the big screen. Basically this film is about Neil Armstrong, you know, the first man to walk on the moon, and this film basically goes through his life leading up to that point, from 1961 to 1969 I believe. You see how the death of his daughter impacts his life, work and at home, and you also see how his wife Janet copes through this situation as well. Alright, so first let's talk about the acting. The acting here is overall well done. I never got a sense that anyone was giving a bad performance or was phoning it in. Even the kids didn't do such a bad job. We have Ryan Gosling who plays Neil, and I have to say he's very monotone throughout the movie. You know, he mostly just focuses on the task and completing it. But I assume that's what Neil was like, because like I said, he had to cope with the death of his daughter, so him being so focused on work I guess acts like a distraction for him. And you never really feel like he's fully confident in what he's doing. Though Neil says that he plans on the mission being successful in that, you do get that inkling of doubt, and I think that was really good. This brings me to Claire Foy, and she was definitely the standout for me. I'm expecting her to get a nom for Best Supporting Actress because she did really well in this film. You really do get a sense of paranoia from her, you know, whether her husband will return or not. The directing here was on point, as usual from Chazelle. However, the style he goes for in this film might not be for everyone, because this film kind of goes for the shaky cam perspective to make the scenes seem more realistic and, you know, seem like you're really there. This is done best when you're in the spacecraft, so you really do get a sense that you're in space. But for the scenes where there's talking, I can see the shaky cam making people a bit nauseous, because there are quite a few quick zooms and close-ups, so it might be a bit difficult for some. Can I just say, I really like the look of this film. It's kind of similar with what they did with Steve Jobs. It looks like they shot the film with 16 and 35mm film, you know, which gives it that old-fashioned grainy look to it, which looks amazing. I believe they shot the last act of the movie in IMAX, but unfortunately I couldn't see the film in IMAX. It would have been worth it though. One thing I did notice in this movie is actually something I didn't notice, and that's the use of CGI. From what I was seeing, most of the effects here were done practically, and that's really good because I really do prefer practical effects and CGI. It just looks more believable and it just makes the scenes more immersive. Chazelle's use of lighting in this film is also worthy to point out here. This is something Chazelle was always good at, especially in La La Land, but yeah, his use of lighting really does add to the dramatic scenes. The music here was also good. I found it to be very atmospheric. Sound design, really well done here. The sound effects really did accentuate the tension in those intense space scenes. No music needed, just the powerful cluttered noise from the ship was enough to bring you on the edge of your seat. So obviously there's been some controversy with this film by not showing the insertion of the American flag, and honestly guys, it's not that deep, because the American flag is everywhere in this film anyway, you know, and you do see it on the moon anyway. Do I think they should have shown it? Yes, because there were talks in this film of the Americans trying to get to the moon before the Russians, but I do understand why they chose not to include it. And I think it's because of this particular scene with Neil on the moon, because Neil does something regarding his daughter. I won't spoil it, but I think they wanted to give more focus on that part. I don't really know if that moment that Neil did on the moon was true or not, because if it was just added for additional emotional effect, that kind of sucks. There have also been complaints that the movie is, you know, too long and boring. Now I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't feel that runtime at all because I was fully invested in the film. And I wouldn't say that the movie is boring, well, for me at least, but I can understand why people might see it as like a bit of a slow burn. If you haven't seen it already, just know that it is a long movie when walking in. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say. So obviously, what do we have next? Oh, yeah, not gonna lie guys, I'm probably gonna skip these. Oh, okay! Nah, I must try and see this in IMAX. But yeah, that was basically my review on First Man. This is probably one of the best films of the year in my opinion. Is this a masterpiece though? I don't think so. Out of all of Giselle's films, this one's probably the least rewatchable one. But yeah, that's basically it. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Have a good day, and peace.